something. Could you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's not pushing out to the right output.
Okay.
Oh well. It was worth a shot.
Okay. We'll
I
get
need
there.
to I think you can actually create ones on here.
Oop, I forgot
Yeah,
to
you
mute
can.
something. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Now that has to it has to run for a minute before I can put Alpha Geek on, but I forgot to mute it so that you would have heard it in the background through my
Oh yeah.
microphone.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see here.
are you early to this party? No, you are just right on time. We are still in pre-show.
It's the pre-show.
Easter
Before
pre-show.
the show.
Before the show.
Before the show.
The show before the show.
Show must go on.
Yes,
Let
Tauren
me
Think
mute.
Tank went on live on Twitch. And now I will tweet that we are live on
Tweet the
Twitch.
deets. It's a deet tweet. Oh, hey, Kalani, I see you are in the chat. I have a quick question. Last night when I was doing the stream, I have a soundboard, which is really just my laptop hooked up from an auxiliary cable to an XLR that goes into my Scarlett 2i2 thingy. And it was only coming through the right channel. And I'm researching a fix, but I don't know if you could think of something like just off the top of your head of how to fix that in with the mixer. I don't know if there's like a setting or something. I'm working the problem, but since you're there, if you had just if you knew it off the top of your head, then I'd appreciate it. But if not, then that's cool. I'll just keep on looking.
Mr. Garris has his overlay set up and everything. Like we have it. I have it set
Yeah.
up. His
He's got a
little
spot.
butt has to sit still, and he's full of little energy right now.
I honestly don't know which one it is. I don't even know if I've got the package around here somewhere. Actually, I can look on my Amazon thing.
Bought a cable.
I bought a cable from Amazon.
Amazon. All right, now I'm gonna go set up Alpha Geek while you play. I'll be right back.
While I play.
Yay.
Where is my history? Hello, account. My orders. Your orders, Commander. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
I might have. I'll go ahead and send you the.
Microphone.
This is the cable that I ordered.
Hello.
I just linked it. I can't tell if it's TRS to XLR 3M microphone cable. So it might be mono if it's just microphone. May have to get another cable.
Maybe.
If I can find okay, I see one it's a TRS stereo to XLR. Oh, I don't need female, I need XLR male.
TRS is stereo, he said. Hiccup.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Live. Yes.
Okay, so it should be okay then, but I guess maybe there's like some setting or something I need to mess with.
Maybe. Hello, Orangey Apps. First time. Thank you for joining us. We are ready to have another show.
Yes, we are ready to rock and roll.
Marconin is like moving around.
You can't see me.
You're not there if I can't see you.
I'm not here. I'm too short. Hello. Ah.
Oh, it is my cable.
Okay.
Okay. So I will have to find a stereo one.
Yay, intentional glitch. Ugh, intentional glitch. First pre-show. We're not
Welcome
being very
to this.
interesting right now. We're talking about cables and cords and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Marconin has been working on a soundboard so he can rival me because basically I have like the show stuff And I don't think about putting fun stuff on the soundboard for like stuff like to intersperse. And I should. Like that's a skill I need to improve. And so after
Well, I
move-
can. Yeah, we can get it figured out.
Yeah.
So I know I can clone it in the software, but is there another cable that I can use? I mean, can I get another cable that will do it like right like as it goes? Because I've got it set up to just play through. I think I've got it. Yeah, it's set to just go through without any like editing software on it. I was just going to do it on streams, so kind of like how Jules does with her soundboard.
Yep.
So I don't know if there's a stereo cable that'll do it. Okay, not via the mic plug, mono only. Okay, well that idea goes out the window. Oh well, back to the drawing board.
There are ways to do it. Hi, Kazric. It is it's like I know I'm all worried because now everything's gonna get uprooted again, and Kalani's gonna have to help me set it up all over again every time.
You could label the cables, like just say what it goes, or take pictures.
Oh, I do.
Take pictures. Okay, you do.
I do. I'll take pictures of the back of each computer so that I know where everything goes, right? But
Yeah.
then it's all the internal stuff, all the settings on the internal side that all get reset every time I unplug everything and plug it back in. And so we have to come out and figure out like how that all worked again. How you can hear it through Skype, and I mean he knows it. It's like this, and so every time I'm just like help, just help.
Yeah.
Thanks, WoW Challenges. This was made for us by Whammo. And
Whammo.
yeah, right, Kalani? You've got to do this again next week.
I know what you're doing.
Yes, next week. We're like, come help me again, please. So everything works again, please. Yeah, and Whammo came up with a really cool idea to make the fire move. And so we thought it would be a cool concept with the way we did this, the show itself being in a comfy fire with the triple T on the hearth. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm a fan. Yeah, he is awesome sauce. He's a cool dude, and he's very, very generous. I paid him for this, obviously, because it was, this was a commission project, but very generous with his time, helping out Well Played. He helped out Con Before the Storm. I can, except Kalani's in Atlanta area, so I still have to get him on Skype and say, help me. Hello, Osaskis. You made it home. Good deal. Saw your tweet. You were racing home. Hopefully you're safe. You're there.
A safe race.
A safe race. Are you going to copy everything into your own doc again?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it an expensive commission? It was. I think I paid him $60 for it, and he gave me. I have a 3 chair and a 4 chair layout too. So he had the basic design, and then he just helped me give the overlays with the 2, 3, and 4 chairs, so we could have up to 4 people on the show at the same time. And really cool. It was a lot of fun for me to come up with a cool idea, a different look for us, and make it feel like us, cozy and relaxing and at home and all that stuff.
Just the way we want you guys to feel when you join us and listening.
Yeah.
Just this nice, a welcoming place.
And Solo Mio, I have the layout for Garrus Cam, except that Garrus is not there. Garrus, before the show, Marconin saw him. He's just like, he's a little busy bee right now, and he's not relaxing at all. And so I can't turn the camera on him because he's not in one spot. Little bugger. He was sleeping like crazy this afternoon, so now he's got all the energy. And you watch. When we start the show, he's going to settle, and I won't have the time to actually get the camera on him because he's going to be in a spot where I can't point the camera. So I just didn't even bother setting it up. I'm working on it, though. I'm hoping by the time we move that he gets settled in and he finds a spot again. Because it's going to be a different layout for me because I'll be in my living room instead of my bedroom. So, yes. I have to figure out how to lay out the entire space. It's going to be kind of interesting. He didn't destroy my chair. He doesn't actually sit in my chairs ever. He sleeps on my bed, under my bed. Let's see. Where he normally sleeps. He sleeps in the cat tree. Yeah. Under the bed, on the cat tree is when he sleeps. That's it. He usually sleeps right next to me on the bed, though. He's my sleep buddy. He's my sleeping buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the cats have been really good with this chair. The only issue I have is when Spike is hungry and he comes over and he starts to claw my leg. Like, come feed me now. And sometimes he hits the side of the chair and I'm like, don't claw the chair, please. Please.
Yeah, that's my main worry if I ever got one of those.
Right?
Would be that.
Well, and
I had to make sure
you
the
wouldn't
girls
have
didn't.
a place for Reese to jump up behind you.
She wouldn't be behind me. She'd probably claw around it trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I probably wouldn't let her in my lap.
Exactly.
Just to be sure, just to make, because I don't want to screw that up if I got one of those.
Yeah, no kidding. They're not cheap. So it's like, I don't want you to poke holes in my. You should see my dressers. My goodness.
Oh yeah.
I have like solid wood, really. I mean, granted they're like 10 years old, but solid wood, really nice dressers, covered in claw marks.
Mm-hmm.
Covered in them, and it's like, oh, damn it, cats.
Yeah, that's kind of the trade-off that we get for all the love.
I know.
It's like I'm gonna love the heck out of you and be there for you. But I need to scratch something. I mean, I have a need to scratch something. So
yeah, he's got, because basically he just jumps up there and then he stops himself with his claws. And so when they get too long, claw marks right in the wood. Kind of funny.
mm-hmm.
The dressers are seasoned. Yeah.
Yeah. Well worn.
Yes, they're definitely well worn. I love these dresses. I love my entire furniture set. It's gorgeous. It's just, you can tell a cat owner owns it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, we can go ahead and kick this thing off.
Chat room.
Get on my.
Where's my ready check? Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Ready.
Tell us if you're ready to pull. You guys filled up our mailbag this week. It was awesome.
My goodness. And they were all really good questions,
really
too.
Awesome, very thoughtful questions. I'm bummed that we're not going to be here next week because I'm like, these are really good and I want to hit them all.
Yeah. Well, we've still got a few weeks till Legion comes out and everybody's got something else to do. So we can stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let you guys enjoy it. Really dig in.
But the ones that are in this week are really good. I'm excited by them too. Wake up.
Excuse me.
Wake up.
Trying to.
Wake up. Do the Kermit flail.
I didn't have any caffeine before this, so this is all me.
Do the Kermit flail.
Oh, jeez.
Will they be drinking and swearing tomorrow? I don't know, actually. We're working on whether or not.
I don't know if I'm going to stream it, but there might be.
Oh,
I don't know.
Pat was supposed to go out of town this weekend, and he's now not going. So I don't know what his plans are at this point. We weren't planning on it, so we'll see if we do a drinking and swearing. But we'll let you know on the Twitters.
On the Twitter.
And in the Discord as we do as we normally do. And if you're drinking and swearing fan, get your t-shirts at Well Played Party.
Yeah, I'm getting one.
tinyurl.com/wellplayed2016.
Yep.
Help us out. We're getting so close.
We're in the home stretch, guys. We still need some help.
All right. Chat room's ready. I see people asking and saying that they needed polls. I think the polls are done. I've tested the soundboard. We have everything up and running. The bot is running. And let's do a show. In 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 193 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, June 30th, the last day of June in the year 2016. Oh my goodness, where is this year going? My name is Jules, and we are here again for another live show in the evening, and I am not alone. I am joined by my partner in crime, the man that we just told him to do the Kermit Flail to wake him up a little bit because it's his Friday. It's Marconin.
I'm just a little bit tired, Jules. I'm very sorry. Just need to wake up a little bit. It's been a long day, and I'm very low on my caffeine intake for the day, so we're just going to try and just move on through if I can wake up.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is awesome to be here with you guys again, as always. So, yeah. How are things going with you, Jules, or do you want me to start off?
You can start, because that's how I normally do it anyway.
That's how we normally do it. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I'm talking way too much,
That's
and now we're gonna throw it off. And so for the last week, it's been a pretty good week. I got the news last night that my BlizzCon badge was finished by the lovely and talented Zoe Zazu.
Uh-huh.
She finished up my commission, and it looks so cool.
It is.
I love it.
Adorable.
I love it. It's Marconin with his hands in the air, like he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" You know, with the hair and one thing that I forgot who said it, but they said, you know, it's like I know that it's Marconin when I see him. Like there's no other gnome that has I could tell it's him. I don't have to see, oh, that's just some random gnome, because like I've scoured across Draenor and Azeroth, and I've never seen a gnome with the same hair and everything combination. And that makes me, I was like, okay, that's cool. I picked one that was kind of unique.
Yeah.
Ish.
It's become iconic to you.
Yeah. I mean, you know me when you see me. You know me when you see me. Hey.
Wah, wah.
This is what I wish my soundboard was working
right? Marconin's been working on making a soundboard work for his side too, because he's the audiophile. I am not, and so I have, the bare minimum things on my soundboard to make the show go. It would be cool. Like, I should think of these things, and I don't. So Marconin is like, I could make a soundboard, and I'm like, you go. Like, you either that or you're gonna feed these sounds to me, and then you have to tell me to play them, because I just don't think that way. So it's probably a mode for improvement for Jules in 2016 is to work on her soundboard prowess.
Yeah. And then I need to work on getting it to work correctly. So we'll get there together. But so yeah, I got my BlizzCon badge. I don't have it yet. She's going to mail it out later, but I have the file and I see it and I love it. So thank you again, Zoe Zazu.
Yes.
You have wonderful art and I love it. I've been waiting since the Well Played party last year, because I told her, I was like, I love your work. I definitely want a badge from you next year. She's like, all right. I was like, we made good on it. I was able to order it. So
that's awesome. Hey, your audio got a little crunchy on me. Why don't you try to flip on your video for a second?
Okay.
See if that helps.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got the badge finished. It's awesome. And for me, I I went and saw the Warcraft movie again today. Again.
This is what number?
4. You can tell I have a problem. But yeah, I noticed. Well, someone on Twitter said that they may not get the chance to see it in theaters because it's been out, for a while, and the summer movie season just constantly there's very quick turnover in the theaters because
Yeah.
they want you to see the new thing of the weekend because every weekend has a blockbuster almost. Every weekend has a Finding Dory or a Civil War or or a Warcraft, So
Yeah.
I went and I looked around and I did some searching online. I was like, okay, well, is it playing? And I found out that today was the last day in my area that it's going to be playing at any theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was looking around, and the one down the street here in town was showing it at like 4:40 in the afternoon. And I got off work at 2 today. And so I had enough time to get home, change, kind of de-stress for a minute. And then I went and saw it again. And then, I honestly thought that I was going to be the only one in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Only one there. It's last showing. It's been out for, almost a month. Who's seeing Warcraft on the last day? Apparently about a dozen other people.
Okay.
So there were people in there. And so you can't tell because the video's up, but I'm wearing my BlizzCon shirt from last year. And I wore that. And so I'm waiting in line to get popcorn. And these two teenagers, I'm guessing, they kind of looked at me as like, hey, you going to see the Warcraft movie? It's like, yeah. What about you guys? Like, oh, yeah, yeah. And we're talking. He's like, oh, you got a BlizzCon shirt. That's cool. And I was like, yeah, have you guys seen it yet? Have you seen the movie yet? No, man, we haven't seen it yet. I was like, oh, man, it's really great. He's like, have you seen it? I said, this will be my 4th time. And they just kind of went, oh, wow, wow. And they were talking. It's like, well, actually, after I said, yeah, I'm going to go see the Warcraft movie. And they were like, all right, for the Alliance. And I was like, for the Alliance.
Yes.
And then one of the guys was like, woo, Death Knights. And I was like, and mages. And mages. And he's like, aw.
Oh.
Come on, man. We can both be Frost. We can do this together. We'll both spec Frost. We'll be all right. Like, oh, yeah, we can do that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so we went in and we saw the movie. And I loved it. I still, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about the movie plot for a second.
Yeah.
So at the part where Khadgar levels up, I get chills every single time. When he does the incantation and just knocks Sargeras out of him, I'm just like, yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. And so, yeah. So I saw it again. Still loved it. Still enjoyed the movie. And I'm walking out, and we asked the two guys, hey, what'd you guys think of the movie? And they turned around and they were like, I've never been more confused ever. I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, at the end of the movie, you've got Illidan there, so that's from like Dark Portal. They've got Dalaran, so that's from like Wrath of the Lich King. They have the Portal, and that's from Warlords. Where's the story coming from? Like, oh, children. This is, you probably weren't born when this game came out. And I was like, guys. Then, they're listing it off and like, guys, this is Warcraft 1, Orcs and Humans, the real-time strategy game from the 90s. It's like, oh, okay. And I was like, and that wasn't Illidan. That was the avatar of Sargeras. And it was like, oh, okay. So that goes like, yeah, go read the history books. Like, go find the Chronicle and do it, check it out and just learn more, kids, learn more. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've got a friend that's like a 2K rogue who knows all this stuff. I was like, 2K, PvP, or, well, yeah, go ask him. Ask him about that. And so, yeah, it was still enjoyable. Still love it. I actually have all 4 of my movie ticket stubs
You
from
saving
all 4.
them?
Yep, I saved all 4 of them. And I'm going to try, one thing I want to do is get like a small movie poster and frame it and have the 4 movie stubs underneath it. Yeah, it's kind of dumb, and I'm a dork, but that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do.
I love it. I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you. And so, yeah, now that Warcraft is not in the theaters around here, I'm going to have to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. So we'll wait for that. Hopefully an extended cut, fingers crossed. And the most important thing that I've done for the last week was yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday evening, I took part in the fundraiser for the Kickstarter of the well-played party, BlizzCon 2016 party in Anaheim, California. Yeah. So what I did, well, what if you guys don't know, or if if you're new to the show, last year my contribution to the Kickstarter was creating customized WoW and Blizzard themed ringtones and message alerts for your mobile devices, and that was one of the reward tiers. So I did those last year. They were, people really liked them, so we decided to do them again this year. And I wanted to show people how I do editing. Like, what is it? Kind of take them through the process, put them over my shoulder in a sense, so they can watch me do what I do.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. Is I got on the stream and I made a ringtone, recorded the audio, did the mixing, did the editing, got it pretty much ready to go, and it's going to be included in that tier. Or if you decide to get the ringtones as part of the Kickstarter, then you will get that one that I worked on.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun. I took suggestions from the audience, and we had a real good time with it.
It was very cool. It was a very cool way to see how the sausage gets made, And so again, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Pay no attention to that man behind the keyboard.
Thank you for taking your time to do that, because it was really it was a lot of fun for us. It helps us as well with the Kickstarter, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm so glad that those of you that joined were able to join. And we certainly hope that you guys are able to help us make the party happen this year. So be sure to check out that tier and see if you wanna enjoy those alerts. So yeah, that's about it for me for the past week. So I've talked about Well Played, which I know is a big thing on your plate. But I know there's like another elephant in the room that's on your plate.
Yes.
I don't know why. There's a pachyderm on your china, on your fine china and dining ware. So what is that other elephant in the room, Jules? What have you been up to the last 7 days?
Oh my lordy. So this past week was the week that I had finished my job. And it was kind of like this anticlimactic thing for me, because the last day that I was there, it was the second day in this new space that we had just moved into.
Oh yeah.
And so everything's unfamiliar and not working, and all this weird stuff. And everybody left at 2:00. They bought my lunch. They gave me a farewell gift. I'm still going to be working for them on the side, like 10 hours or less a week, just doing some, kind of like on-demand work. But, I'm going to not be there full time. So they all left at 2. They're like, bye. Oh, it was pretty funny.
Man.
So, and I'm in this brand new building, or to me, brand new building. A big office building, and we're the only tenants in it because it was like built in the 70s. It had been vacant for a long time. They'd remodeled stuff so that we could go in, and so it was kind of creepy. And I'm like, this is really weird. Like, you're just in this space alone. So anyway, creepy. And so I'm sitting there and just like I'm trying to work out this whole sublet thing. And let me just tell you, it has been a nightmare to try to get this apartment sublet, because I have, I started listing it in the mid part of May, didn't get anybody interested. And then all of a sudden, like the second to last week in June, everybody's coming out of the woodwork saying that they want to see it and that they're interested. And so this one couple wound up getting in the first application to the property managers, and they had nothing but problems. It was just like, and, first they didn't have the right finances. They needed a cosigner. The cosigner took forever to actually get their stuff in. Then there were problems with the cosigner. And I kept calling the office and being like, guys, do you want me to move out or not? Because I don't know what to do. And the other side is, I have to arrange the movers. I have to figure out when the other side is ready for me. I was starting to just, so sick. Like, I was physically sick.
Yeah.
It took until Tuesday, 2 days ago, for me to actually find out for certain that they had approved the sublet. It was over a week that it was in process, and I am sitting here just going out of my mind.
Wow.
But the good news is that it is now sublet, and I am moving a week from today.
All right. You have an applause on that soundboard?
I do have an applause on the soundboard. It's right
Put
here.
Put it on there. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
oh, sorry.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit
Let me
extra.
in there. The process has just been a nightmare. So in any case, I am moving a week from today. And so that means there will not be a show because I will be moving. And I know. So that's why we're happy that we're having it today, but we will not have it next week because there will be no me. So here's how it's going to work. I am actually going to drive up to Minnesota. It's 4 hours on Tuesday with the 2 cats and bring them up first.
That's going to be so much fun.
This is actually, I am not kidding, guys. I have stressed about this part of this relocation for months because I will put these cats in the car for 5 minutes and it's a nightmare. They will be in the car for 4 hours. And so and it's just me. Like, I don't have anybody with me. So I have to do this on my own. And I am freaked out. I have to keep telling myself, it's just 4 hours of your life. And it's going to be okay. And it'll be all right. And when you get them there, it'll be fine. But I thought about it like 100 times. And I'm thinking, should I just make the one trip? Or should I, and considering how stressed they are to begin with, and then having movers here and moving stuff out and then put them in the car for 4 hours and drive them up and then have movers come into the place again and stress them out more. I'm like, I think they need a break. So yeah, I am going to put myself through a little bit of hell to make sure that my 2 fur babies are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, it is really stressful. I am so nervous about this. And so I've called the vet and I've ordered a sedative for at least one of them. Because I called and they said, yeah, we're going to give you some Xanax for Spike, but you got to go pick it up at a human pharmacy. And I'm like, really? And they said, yeah. And I said, oh, I'm wondering if I could have one for my own. Could you just let me take one too?
Yeah.
It's probably not meant for my dosage, but yeah. So
how many of these do I need? So if the cat were the size of a human, how many would I need to give that human-sized cat for it to be effective? I mean, just a hypothetical here. I'm not. I mean, that's all. That's all I'm curious about.
I know. And so, yeah, on Tuesday, say a little prayer for me, because once I get past that hurdle, everything else is going to feel like it's a cakewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. I'm not stressed about the actual move itself. I'm more stressed about that part because they cry and Spike makes a mess in his carrier every time, 5 minutes, and so I'm literally just trying to come up with every solution, even just thinking about letting him loose in the car just so that he can sit on a seat instead of inside a locked carrier. Garrus, yeah. I can't. He cannot be outside the carrier. He's too nervous. He will hide. He will run. I will lose him. So, but Spike is too slow. So he's too fat and he's too slow. So, so in any case, that's what's been going on with me. By the time we come back for our next episode, I will be living in a new location in a new state. I will be older because my birthday will have passed.
That's right.
Yes. And my divorce will be final on that day.
There you go.
Yes. So, or actually the day before. So I am there's going to be a whole different Jules when you see me.
A whole new woman.
It's I'm just going to be a transformed woman. I'm going to be in a different spot and I'm going to be older and I'm going to be single. So it's just my goodness.
So fellas.
No.
If,
No. No. So good Lord, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited about this next phase. Tomorrow is my first official new day. working for Pat. Yeah, I don't think I'll actually be doing a ton, but but I'm actually like on the payroll as of tomorrow. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So okay, so that's what's been going on there. We talked about Well Played a little bit. Let me just give you guys a little bit of an update on that. We are cruising towards our goal, but we definitely need your help. We are not there yet. And we made some good progress last night, but we need to continue the momentum to hit to our goal. We only have 10 days left. And so we have to get about $3,400 left to get to our goal.
Something like that. Let me
Yeah.
pull it up quick.
I don't have the number in front of me.
30, we'll need like 3640.
3640 right now to get to our
So-
goal. Every dollar helps, guys. We're doing as many
Absolutely.
things as we can to stream and entertain you, but you don't have to wait until we stream to help us out. It's tinyurl.com/wellplayed2016. There's things like podcast coaching with Pat Crane. If you're going to BlizzCon and you want to have breakfast with me and Marconin and Pat and Darius and a bunch of other people at BlizzCon, there's an opportunity to do that. There's all kinds of CTR loot. There's all kinds of cool things. There's still badge art available. And, oh, gosh.
And if you pledge at least $25, you're eligible for the add-ons, which you can add on things like all of the videos and photos delivered to you.
Yep.
Custom CTR shot glasses, beanies, shirts, power banks, fleece zip-up jackets. There's a lot of things. There's definitely a lot of things that you can pick and choose from. There's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I've thrown my wallet at it. I did it that first weekend.
Yes.
I was like, Jules, just take my money. Here's
Just
my
take my
wallet.
money.
Just take it.
Just take it. Yep. Actually, Wow Challenge says it's 2640, not 3640.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting there.
I forgot how to math for a second.
I know,
Sorry.
and I don't math in my head, so.
I tried to math.
So yeah, we're getting there, guys, but we definitely need your help. Spread the word, tell people about it, make sure they're knowing that we're raising funds for it, because this party needs to happen again for the 4th year in a row. And it needs your help to do it.
It's free and open to anyone and everyone that wants to walk in.
Absolutely.
Even developers of our favorite Blizzard games. They tend to float around, so you'll never know who you'll see there.
And as fans of this show, you'll enjoy this. I've talked to Oddish, and she is going to be joining us there.
Woo!
And her community will be there. I've been talking to a whole lot of different people to see who we can get to come. It's a little bit far away for them, and a lot of the competitive players don't know if they're going to be competing at BlizzCon or not, so we just don't know. But in any case, we have a show to do. And
Yes, we do.
let's go do it right now. We start with our discussion topic. Here
Yeah.
it comes.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
You guys came out this week and brought us some wonderful questions to our mailbox. I am so, so grateful. Don't stop. Don't stop sending them. They're awesome. All right. Start with our discussion topic. It says, "Hi, Marconin and Jules. My name is Josh. I've been a long-time listener but never written in before. I actually talked to Marconin at the AIE Guildhall last year. This message might seem a little scatterbrained as I'm writing it on my phone in the ER waiting room on my phone. Why, you might ask? Because I've spent the last 4.5 hours sitting here with this girl. No, she's not here right now. She's been called back. And it's this girl that I'm writing about. I met her about 6 months ago at work. It gets better. I'm her boss. So there's that, sure. I know what you're thinking, but let me give the whole story. I'm 26 and she's 20. We both seem to be pretty big nerds, so conversation was easy. She lived with her parents when we met, having just got out of a bad relationship. Unfortunately, they threw her out shortly thereafter for reasons I'm not entirely sure of. Between losing both of those pillars in her life, I offered to let her stay with me until she could get on her feet. The first time we spent together outside of work involved me carting a dozen boxes of her most essential knickknacks. I decided not to make our arrangement public knowledge and swore her to secrecy. I really didn't need any trouble at work for a platonic relationship. We got along well as roommates. Between I Gotta Make You Watch This and our shared interests, we probably put upwards of 150 hours onto my Netflix account. I enjoyed taking care of her, letting her save up for her own place while I, having been incredibly lonely and depressed only a few weeks before, felt like a new man. Of course, as all things must, our arrangement ended and she got her own place. I helped her move and find some furniture. Additionally, I began picking her up and dropping her off for work every day, adding about 45 minutes to my day on a good day. I help her get around and make ends meet. Even as I write this, I'm stepping out of a fog and realizing I don't think I put much effort in my last couple of relationships. I guess it had been slowly dawning on me that I might have real feelings for this girl. I tried to keep it repressed, bottled up. I certainly wouldn't want to press someone who had just gotten out of a relationship lasting a quarter of their life. However, one day she started talking about the guys she'd been talking to and the notion of something physical with them, and it felt like a wrecking ball had caught me right in the chest. I guess I don't even know the best question to ask. Should I tell her I want to be with her? Is it selfish to assume I stand a chance for just buying her food and whatnot? If not, how do I stop this? A part of me feels like it's selfish of her, too, to just take. She must know something about how I feel, right? I guess I just don't know, but after all, that's why I'm writing you tonight. Holy hell, it's a long email by phone, but what a good way to kill an hour of waiting. Thanks, guys. /moo. Finger cramp. From Josh.
Alrighty then. Furzball hit it on the head in the chat. He said, "Ouch, friend zone."
Yeah.
Like this is some hardcore friend zoning.
Mm-hmm.
I will say right out of the gate, you being her boss, that's a whole bag of cats right there.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because if HR caught wind of that, even if you were living together, that's a conflict of interest. Even if there is a relationship there or not, there's no way that they can prove that there was or wasn't one, so they would err on the side of caution. And there's no telling what would happen then. So that's a very tricky situation. That's definitely something you should consider.
Yeah.
Going forward. And I can understand you developing feelings for someone, especially if you're around them all the time and you have so much in common. It's natural for that stuff to crop up. You know,
yeah.
It's, I wouldn't feel bad. I don't think you should feel bad for having those feelings because it's what happens, especially if you have similar interests like that and you spend a lot of time together. I mean, heck, you were living together for a while. So it just happens, just the nature of the situation.
Yeah. It's the first thing that I read when I read this, and I was like, oh gosh.
Yep.
That's a boss and subordinate situation.
Mm-hmm.
There is no easy way to navigate a relationship when one person has authority professionally over the other. It's not easy to do it.
Yes, even if it's just a friendship.
Right.
Because that's one thing at work. At work, there's actually my supervisor's position is open, and a couple of people have expressed interest there to take the job, and just people talking, they're like, well, I don't know if this person would be right for it because they're such good friends with the people that they would be directly overseeing. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that person's really great at what they do, and I think they'd be great for it. But that may be the thing that keeps them from getting it, because there is that assumed conflict of interest where, how are you going to be fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's any way you could be fair. Even if you were fair, it would seem that you weren't, because if people knew that situation, they would automatically assume. Maybe not that there's a relationship there, but there's a little bit of favoritism, even if there's none there to speak of.
Yeah, there's first of all, very, very first of all, you need to know what your company's policy is.
Oh yeah,
on relationships and having working, what your working structure is, because that could severely hurt your career. And, you have to know what is there too. The other, there are sometimes policies in place that say if you are known to be in a relationship, a romantic or even friendship relationship, that they may, they would like have the right to relocate you to another department, or,
Yeah.
like some companies have that kind of policy because they don't want to deal with the ramifications of what happens if you break up,
Yeah.
you know?
How toxic does that situation become? It becomes a hostile working environment.
Yeah. I mean, I worked with my spouse. That happened. And eventually, we were in the same department, and eventually they moved me to a different department. And I just, I knew it. Like, they didn't say that's what happened, but I knew they just didn't want to have to deal with any of that conflict,
Yeah.
But we had also met at work. And so it was like, we met each other there, and it was known that we were dating, and it was known when we got married. And so it was like, and then eventually I got moved to another department. So, but
yeah, if you could just go work over there, that'd be great.
Yeah. And because I think it just makes it easier, especially like when there's a boss involved in there too, to say, there's a married couple on my team, and boy, that, they're going to bring stuff in from outside, there's no way you can't. So
Yeah.
that's let's put that aside, because I think that's a pretty clear thing. But the very first thing that I really thought of with her is that there's a couple red flags. Number one being that her parents kicked her out for reasons that you don't know about. I just don't understand why that would not be well known or something. It just seems like there's something there that doesn't seem to add up. And she had nowhere else to go, so she wound up getting to stay with her boss. Like, I know, unless I were desperate, I don't think I would be staying, well, I don't think I can say that right now. Because, like, if I'm moving to Minnesota and I'm basically working out of my boss's home, and if I got into a bind, he would probably let me stay there. But, if somebody who you didn't know, who barely knew you, I worry that your instinct of her taking everything is correct. Like, she's just a taker and not a giver.
Yeah. Well, and she's 20 as well.
Yeah.
And I know I was naive at times when I was 20, and it could be something that she doesn't realize that's exactly what she's doing. But I mean, she hasn't really had any real world experience as far as living out on her own, because she was with her parents. So this is her first jaunt into self-sustainability, self-reliance, and being able to function as a whole human being on herself, on her own. So it may not be intended, but I mean, I definitely do think that there's a whole lot of taking going on, and not a lot of give back or I wouldn't say appreciation, because I mean, you did it out of the kindness of your heart, and you shouldn't. If you do something out of the kindness of your heart, you shouldn't expect compensation or expressions of gratitude. Yeah, it's nice to be thanked for do what you do, but like I'm kind of like you, Josh. I will bend over backwards for people. If they need something, I will sacrifice whatever I've got to do to make sure that whatever problem you've got, and if I have the capacity to fix it, I will be there to fix it. No questions asked. No problem.
Yeah.
And it kind of throws me off when people aren't willing to do the same thing. Like, if I have an issue and they're like, can't help you. And I was like, well, I mean, you could, but you don't want to. Why?
Yeah.
And that throws me for a loop sometimes. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I definitely feel you on the situation of wanting to help.
Yeah.
And you did, and it's, like I said, it's natural to get to kind of get these feelings, but you can't really fault her for wanting to move on with her life now that she has this new place, and she's had this awesome friend that's let her help out. And now there's these guys that she's talking about. I mean, it may be one of those things where you kind of, I forgot who said it earlier in the chat room. Furzabal said that you might have to man up and tell her that you care about her, but don't want to know about her sexual relations. Yeah. So one of those things like, man, you don't have to tell me that. You can dress it up as, oh man, I don't want to hear about your sexcapades, you young whippersnapper, and just like,
don't say young whippersnapper.
Now that's something that I would say. because that's me, you know. But however you can dress it up within the construction of your friendship with her, be like, oh, come on, I don't tell you about the hot chicks I bring home, when you're at work and I'm not managing the store, am I? So don't do that to me. Whatever kind of thing you can do to kind of get her not to tell you about that stuff. I mean, because I don't know if she's just saying it like at work. She's like, "Oh man, this hot guy," or if she's talking to you in confidence as a friend.
Yeah, it sounds
those
like
are two
that.
completely different situations. So,
Well, obviously, she definitely turns to you for whatever she's in need. Like, you're sitting at the hospital taking her at the ER and waiting
mhm.
for her for 4 hours in a waiting room. So she is like, you are the guy that she calls when she needs something. Now, I give her credit that she went out there and she got her own place and she's getting herself settled out. But
Yeah,
let's think about this from a perspective of, like, when you went out and went to college for the first time, Josh. If you went to college, or anybody who goes out there and goes, you're free for the first time with no boundaries, no obligations to anyone but yourself.
there's no rules.
There's no rules. It's like the wild oats need to be sowed. And I think that she is going to be just completely infatuated with doing that and being like, I am a single girl who can just go out there and do my thing. But, you have to understand that she's probably always just going to turn to you whenever she gets into a bind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not she's not in the foundation right now to be a partner to you.
Yeah.
There's no equality here because basically, and Furzball said this in the chat room, you might be like a surrogate parent or a father.
Well, that was Tiber, wasn't it? Oh, taking the role of a parent.
Yeah, and Furzball said maybe worse than friend zone, you might be surrogate
Oh
dad.
yeah.
Yeah, and
You had a
so
couple things.
yeah, and so it feels to me like she's kind of like, she's not looking for you to be her romantic partner. She's looking for you to be her stability. And those are two very different things when it comes to a relationship. And she filled things for you as well. She cured your loneliness and she gave you someone to talk to and to share things and to watch Netflix with. And hey, that she's going to call you whenever she needs something. But what does she give you back?
Yeah.
What do you get back?
That's the thing about relationships is they should be two-way streets.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be just be a one-way street.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be something to where, gosh, I'm trying to think of how to say it. You got to kind of put the romantic feelings on the shelf. You have to shelve them, man. There's no, right now, like Jules was saying, she's kind of sowing her wild oats. She's starting fresh. It's a brand new day, brand new chapter in her life. And you can't just add on this to her. I know she fulfilled those needs of being lonely and having someone to talk and relate to, but you can't grab onto her because she was there. She's a free spirit. And I know it sucks and it hurts, but that's, and I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. I've had friends that I've been so close to that those feelings crop up.
Yeah.
And they're not meant to be in that way. And you learn to value that person in the way you have them. You love the person and the relationship you have, and you don't try to force anything extra on it. And yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough, but
I hate to say this, but there isn't anything in his email that says that he has fantasies of wanting to be with her.
yeah,
And I was, it's just when she talks about wanting to be with other guys and it hits him like a wrecking ball to the chest. And the reason that could be, I'm speculating, but the reason that could be is that you might be afraid that she's not going to need you anymore.
Oh, that's a good point.
And so it's not even necessarily that you have romantic feelings, like you desire this person, you're attracted to this person, you want to be with this person. It's that she makes you feel wanted. And it's a very different, there's an aspect of that in every romantic relationship, but it's like equal parts of other stuff, right? There's sexual attraction and emotional attachment and support, and like the person who is your rock and your support system and everything like that. And hers is so skewed, like you are her support system. Where's the other stuff?
Yeah.
So is there a fear that she's not going to need you anymore because she's going to find somebody else?
And then you'll be back at square one where you were beforehand.
And you don't need to settle for just saying, well, I want to have somebody, and at least somebody needs me. You have to say, this is what's important for me as a relationship. I don't think she's ready for what you need right now, and she's not looking at you for what she needs right now beyond just being her the guy that she calls when she gets into a bind.
Yeah, it might be kind of like a big brother thing too, like she needs someone to call for advice or tell stories to, and that kind of, you're fulfilling that kind of need in her life. But yeah, you guys are on the same train, but you're in different cars because she's a few cars behind you. She hasn't lived long enough. She hasn't seen what you've seen, and she'll get there one day. But you can't wait for her to get to that car.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what you're looking for. You know what qualities you like in a person, and now that you've had somebody there and you've had somebody around, you've tasted it again. You're feeling better. Why not use this as an opportunity to spring yourself forward in that regard?
Yeah.
Maybe get yourself back out in the dating world, or whatever it is, find a group that goes, to see movies together, a whole group of people, like a book club, but with moving pictures, something like that, or, groups on Facebook of people that like to, there's tons of stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
But this may be like a little bit of a way to boost you back out into the scene and hanging out with people. Because, man, if you're a boss at a place of business, I actually was talking to my boss yesterday. One day this week, I actually had an interview with him for that supervisor spot, and he was talking to me. Yeah, and he was talking to me about what goes through his mind. There's like 8 million things going on in his brain because he's got to worry about the inventory stuff. He has to worry about his bosses breathing down his neck. He's got to worry about irate customers. You got 10 million things on your plate, and it's very overwhelming. It's hard to leave it at work, And so maybe this is a thing like, hey, there's more out there than just work. There's more out there, and like you need to get back out there and meet some people. Go find out and do stuff like, there's lots of things, lots of ideas you can go with, places to check out. Furzball says meetup.com for finding groups with things. I know we've used that for AIE stuff before, which saw you at the IE Guild Hall. So yeah, there's lots of things and places that you can do and try to try and get more people in your life kind of thing. I don't know if maybe it's just, we all meet people in our lives and we learn things from them, right? A lot of people will say, oh, this person, not everybody's in your life for life. You have friends that go in and out. You have relationships that go in and out. You have acquaintances that go in and out and in and out. And they teach you something and you teach them something. And maybe use this as an opportunity for life to teach you things and push you in other directions to where you won't feel as lonely, or you will have more friends and more places to go outside of work. And I mean, I really do applaud you for bending over backwards for this girl, because I mean, if you didn't do it, where would she have ended up?
Yeah.
And I can't fault you for that, because I would do probably the exact same thing, because that's how I roll too. So I understand, and I applaud you for that, but you can't hold on too long. She's let go when she moved out, and you need to realize that and accept it and just enjoy the time you guys had. And every once in a while say, hey, you want to grab a bite to eat or something, which of course this kind of goes back to, are you still her superior officer in the occupation? If so, then maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
you really
a danger
gotta,
zone there.
Very much so. And give them an inch and they'll go a mile, and you will be given your termination notice. So be very, very careful. Guard your occupation more than you are right now, because jobs are hard to get, man, especially boss jobs,
Yeah.
like management positions. They can be a rough field to try and navigate. So protect that, because without that, you're going to be looking for someone to take care of you when you don't have an apartment.
Yes.
So circle the wagons a little bit in that regard, and just stay friends with her, and just enjoy the friendship for what it is, and guard your heart a little bit against being taken advantage of. That's another thing that I'd warn against.
Yeah, I mean, there's that side of it that you could say, what this could be like the romantic movie story of the year, right? And we could be writing the next blockbuster chick flick with your story. But the reality is that you have to make sure you're looking out for yourself. And one wrong move when it comes to your career by following matters of the heart could really turn your life upside down in a way that you didn't want it to. So you have to be careful with it. Again, you never know where life is going to take you. She may leave the company. She may go out there in the world and decide, this I found another person that makes me happy. She winds up going off in the world. She may come back to you. Who the heck knows? But it's I am not one of those people who's just like, throw caution to the wind and tell her how you feel and let nature take its course and blah, blah, blah. Because this is a complicated situation that could really injure you if you're not careful with yourself.
Yeah. This is real life.
Yeah. And, you worked hard to get where you are. You worked, to become a superior in the company with people that report to you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going to look for a job change and this won't really matter. But at the same time, don't throw away your career for love.
Yeah,
or the thought of love.
Yeah. Love at 20 is different than love at 26 more times than not.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
she has living to do right now.
Yeah. And so do you. You've
Yeah.
got living to do.
But I think what you can take from this right now, there's a couple things you can take from it, and then we can move on. But you're feeling like, in his letter, he said, I feel like I'm stepping out of a fog and realizing I don't think I put this much effort in my last couple of relationships. Take what you have learned from this and see what you've done wrong in the past when it comes to relationships. Who are you looking for? What kind of girl do you want to date? What kind of girl do you see a future with? Because if you've started that pattern of going after girls that just don't want or need the effort that you want to put into them, that's a telling sign.
Yeah.
You're learning about your own personality. Hell, I'm going to turn 42 not next week, the week after. And so I still learn things about myself every day. And the whys and the whats and the way I react to things and the stuff that I do. And, it's amazing. You will learn so much about why you need things, why you don't need things, why you think you need something and you really don't need it, but you can convince yourself. So, yeah, I want to say, don't count out what you've learned from this situation.
Yeah. Definitely don't discount the experiences that you've had with her. Mm-hmm. Not at all, because, you can still stay friends, and nothing wrong with that. And, Jules, what do you think about the part where you said, she must know something about how I feel, right? I know we've talked before, and we've said, and I know you've said, like, women know. Like, they know when stuff goes on. But at 20, do you know? Do you pick up on that kind of thing?
I gotta
or
say,
do you think it's...
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Just because of the way the situation is phrased and in his letter, I don't know. She may know how to work him,
Yep.
like how to get what she needs by certain things, so she knows what to say and how to say it. But I don't know And maybe she has an inkling that, she can pretty much ask you to do anything for her and you'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. If she has a thought of it, she's probably not really too concerned about it, is my reaction to it. Because, like, if I knew someone had feelings for me and I would not intentionally take advantage of that. That's me. That's not what I would do. But it's also a situation where a lot of times there's not a comfort level to say that out loud. And so it's just like, we're just going to pretend that's not there.
Yeah.
We're going to pretend that doesn't exist. Unless he says something to me about it, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think, what's probably happening there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on that one too while we're talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So so that is that's our thoughts on the situation. I know it wasn't like the most like positive, like go for it type of thing, but I think we're looking at this from a reality standpoint, and we want to make sure that you're taken care of here too.
Yeah. Because, I mean, nowadays, if you stand outside of this gal's apartment with a boombox over your head, you're going to get called. The police are going to get called on you. That's a restraining order right there.
That's a noise ordinance.
Yeah, you're breaking the noise ordinance. Why are you even playing that boombox? It doesn't have a CD player. What are you doing?
My Sirius XM radio is not working on my boombox.
Why won't this work?
If you guys have thoughts or questions or comments about this letter from Josh, you can send them to us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. To keep in mind that we will be back in 2 weeks to be able to read them. We'll see them. We just won't be able to read them onto the show. But send them over our direction because you're probably listening and thinking about it. So right away, write yourself down and send it off. Questions@taurenThinkTank.com.
Yeah. And Josh, if you see me at the Guild Hall again this year, come say hi again.
Absolutely. I tried to make it there a couple times and it took me a really long time to get there. So
it tends to. I mean, they were like really close to each other. They're in the same building, but you get stopped a little bit, like once or twice.
Yeah. It's a couple of different directions to be pulled in, but
Uh-huh.
All right. It's Think Tank time.
Woo! Think Tank time.
Think Tank time. Let's do it.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
And it's Think Tank time. We have another question, and this is about weddings.
Weddings.
Oh, weddings. Dear Tauren Gurus, before I get to my question, I want to say thank you for everything you do with this podcast. As someone who suffers with bipolar and anxiety, your podcast has given me many stories that I can relate to and use to help confront things both in game life and in real life. And the in real life MMO. Recently, my girlfriend and I got engaged. In fact, it was over this past Memorial Day weekend. We are both extremely excited, and it's definitely one of those times where you felt the zing and just knew. Our plan is to have a semi-long engagement. We plan to get married in 2018 so we can save money and take our time with planning in order to try and reduce the stress. Going into the engagement, we both decided we wanted to plan the wedding in such a way that we could pay for it ourselves because we didn't want someone holding money over our heads in regards to decision. Recently, she has been discussing some plans that we have been making for the wedding with her parents, and they seem to want to fight us on every single decision we make. Most importantly is the decision we've made that we don't want to get married in a church. Her family is traditional Catholic, but she doesn't really participate in the religion aside from the usual Christmas, Easter forced to go to Mass. We both also have best friends of both sexes and want them to stand with us on our day. 2 of my best friends are female and 2 are male. Same for her. They don't seem to understand this and have said if we expect them to pay for it, they have concessions to make. To me, having our friends stand with us is like having our family with us on that day. They are the people we have known for a good portion of our life and are extremely important to us. Being an only child, they are the closest thing to the brothers and sisters that I have. My question is, with this barely being a month into planning, into what will be effectively 2 years of planning, How do we politely but firmly approach our parents and tell them that this is our day and not theirs? My biggest fear is once we tell them we don't expect their money, they will then threaten to not show up. How do I make them understand that doing this can ruin not only her big day, their relationship with her, but also their possible relationship with their future grandchildren? I don't want the stress of fighting them to seep into our relationship somehow. I'm normally a pretty easygoing guy, but when this comes to my fiance and her big day, I want it to be everything she wants, if possible, and I will fight like a raging druid in bear form to get that for her. Sorry for the novel of a letter. Any help is appreciated, and thanks again for everything you do. From Twitch, future demon hunter on Wormrest Accord Horde side.
Cool. All right.
Yes. So the age-old question of planning a wedding when your plans differ from your parents.
Yep. So who's getting married?
Exactly.
Is it you guys, or is it you guys as parents? Who's actually tying the knot, putting the ring on, signing the paper, lighting the candle, whatever it is, stepping on the champagne glass, whatever it is? It's you guys. It's your day. It's not. I mean, your parents had their wedding. I'm assuming if they're still married, or if they've had their day. That was their day back then. This is your day coming up. And you're talking about wanting to save up money because you want to do this, and then your parents are like, well, if you don't do this, if we pay for it, we have concessions. Well, then they don't pay for it. And if they don't want to come, then that's on them. It's one of those kind of things where you have to take a stand. And if their parents don't, her parents don't want to miss their daughter's big day. They really don't. Even if it's not in a traditional setting, even if it's not in a traditional way. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't have to be in a specific place for it to count. Really, you don't need to do anything except put your John Hancock on a piece of paper. Just write your name and you're married. There you go. So for you to include any of them at all is a blessing. Right there. They don't have to be at your wedding. You don't have to have a wedding at all. But for you wanting to plan something, and you guys are planning 2 years in advance, that's awesome. You have an opportunity to save, to go ahead and reserve places. You can get it cheaper now. It's like, yeah, 2 years from now, we definitely want to have this. Here's some money. You guys can put it in a checking account or a savings account and build interest, whatever you want to do with it. But we want to reserve this weekend. We want to have it like out on this outside. We want to have an outdoor wedding. That's fine, or wherever you want to have it. At a roller skating rink, whatever. You do you, boo-boo. This is you guys' wedding. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Have your friends there. One of my groomsmen at my wedding was going to be like a 70-year-old man. The guy I did radio work with back in college. And if it wasn't for him getting sick at the last minute, he would have been there. I mean, and yeah, that's unconventional. For a 20-something to have a 60-something or 70-something person as one of their groomsmen. That's very unconventional. I wore a Star Trek badge on my tuxedo getting married. That's unconventional. But my parents were cool with it because it was my day, and they wanted me to enjoy it, and they wanted my wife to enjoy it, and they wanted to be there to enjoy it with us.
Yeah.
And I think your parents, in the end, more times than not, parents will want to be there for their kid's big day. Even if it's not 100% according to their plan, the way they want to do it. And I know I've been talking for a while, Jules, so you can go ahead and put some words down on this audio track.
Okay, there's a couple things. I've had 2 marriages in my life, and 2 weddings. I've had the very large, like 150 person wedding, and I've had the small, like 10 people wedding. I've had the 2 extremes in my life.
Yeah.
What I have learned in my experience is that weddings are a nightmare. and they're wonderful and they're glorious and they celebrate 2 lives coming together. I'm not I'm not discounting that. But what happens is that when you are a child and you are a female child, you spend the majority time of your life dreaming about the day you get married and what it's going to be like and how amazing it's going to be. And your parents have dreamt about the ideal wedding for their little girl. It's a fantasy. And it's a fantasy that we send and we build up for each other for years and years and years. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. So what's happening right now with her parents is they are running under the fantasy of what they think is supposed to be the ideal wedding for their little girl. And so they are not listening or thinking about what it is that she wants. They're thinking about what they've wanted for her. It's a very big difference.
Yeah.
And sometimes those conflicts can never resolve. And it's really sad. And like, there's people in the chat room that are saying like, you know, hey, I've eloped because I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the conflicts and the, you know, people. And you said it like brilliantly in the beginning and said, who's getting married? It's you guys. And you should have the opportunity to just say, hey guys, it's the thing I would like to have and not what you think I should have. So
Yeah.
now I mean, the very first thing that I think needs to happen in this situation is that your fiance and you, Twitch, need to sit down with her parents and you need to ask them to explain to you what their ideal wedding is. You need to know what their expectations are.
Yeah, you got to know where they're coming from.
Because they feel they have a stake in this, because not only do they have this picture in their head of what they want to do for their little girl, they also have, like, as she has grown up, known that it is expected that they will be paying for it. They've probably planned for this. They probably had it in their brain, like, when she meets a guy, we're going to have to start paying for the wedding. And, you know, it's like all these things like that we expect as a culture. And it's all framed in this thing of like, well, what would the neighbors say? And what will the family say? And blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, what do you want? And it's so hard a lot of times for people to actually be honest about what it is that they want. So I say to this, you know, you need to sit down and you need to listen to them for a little bit, just to hear what is in their heads, what they expect, you know. I mean, my parents, you know, the second time around, I sat down and told them, look, guys, we're not gonna have a big wedding. I don't expect you to pay for anything. You know, you certainly paid for everything on the first time around, and I'm not going to make you do that again. And so, and yet they still offered to pay for a good portion of it. You know, I didn't go in there expecting it, and they offered. But I wanted to let them know that this is what I wanted to do. But I needed to hear what they thought too. And I think that this is really important for these two to talk to her parents, because they're already putting limitations on what it is that they want. But they're not thinking about you guys. They're thinking about themselves. And that's an important distinction to make. So that's the very first thing I think you need to do. After you've heard them out, then you need to have an open conversation about what you guys want to do. And if those two things don't start to line up, then it's negotiation time.
Yep. There may be a slight bit of compromise between the two of you, between you and your fiance and the parents now, and maybe on the venue. Maybe come to, you know, maybe not do a wedding at the beach. Maybe do it at a park in the same city that, you know, your parents live in. Something close by, something nice, you know. It's always nice to compromise a little bit instead of being so steadfast in where you want to be that you're sacrificing the relationship, kind of like her parents are doing by being so steadfast in what they want. Try to maybe convince them to be a little more, you know, compromising.
I mean, I'm of the mindset where they should get what they want for their day.
Oh yeah.
And so, if their dream is to have to not get married in a church and to not do because it doesn't fit to who they are, and
Yeah.
her parents need to understand that. They need to understand that this is their dream, this is their vision, this is how they want to celebrate their relationship starting as a married couple. And that they're going to be paying for that. They're planning on paying for it. That it's no insult to her parents. It's just that they understand that this is a heavy financial burden for anybody to take on. And because they are not doing it in a traditional sense, I guess, that they're willing to take on the financial burden to make it happen for themselves. So, you're not telling them, well, we're not getting married in a church and you're paying for everything. Like, they're going at it and saying, we know, we're planning, we're making good decisions, we're being adults about this.
Yeah. I mean, you're going into it planning on paying for everything. And that way you can start budgeting for where you want to go and where you want to have it and all these other little decisions that you've got to go. So, I mean, I know her parents want to be a part of it. They want to have their hands in it somewhere. And I mean, I really think you should do what you want. Listen to their advice, but you don't have to follow it.
No. And if they're actually gonna throw a tantrum and say that they're not gonna attend because you don't want to get married in a church, who are they hurting?
Yeah, they're only hurting themselves. They're not going to be there in those pictures. After you get married, you do all the little wedding pictures. They're never going to be in those pictures if they don't come. And those memories are not going to be made. They're not going to be there and cherished. The kids are going to wonder, well, Mom and Dad, why aren't Grandma and Grandpa in the wedding photos with you?
Yeah.
Because they were being hard asses and wouldn't come because we didn't go to a church. You don't want that stuff to happen. And the grandparents or potential grandparents, her parents, I'm thinking way too far ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, her parents don't really want that. I think it's an idle threat. I know when it comes to, I've noticed with my friends that are Catholic, when they have the weddings, they really, really, really want you to do it in the church, because they want it to be extremely official.
Well, and it's religion,
and it's a yeah.
They want you to be married in the eyes of God. I mean, that's a very important thing for some people, and I get it. Ms. Noyd in the chat room said you can always do what my in-laws did. Their parents wanted one wedding and they wanted another, so the parents paid for a Catholic ceremony, and the next weekend my in-laws had their wedding of choice that they paid for.
Yeah, you could double dip.
If I mean, it's an important decision that you're going to have to make if you just say, hey, I absolutely do not feel comfortable being married in the church, then you have to say, this is important to me and this is what I want for my life. And sometimes there will be consequences to that. But it would suck if her parents would just refuse to be a part of it because she didn't want what they wanted.
Yeah. And it would definitely suck, but you can't blame yourself for that. It's not your fault. I mean, this is your wedding. You want to do it how you want to do it. You want to have a unique wedding, one that represents who you are, and the friendships and the relationships that you've had in your life, and the people that are around that that are your family, that are your friends, but they're your family. They're that close.
It's interesting because when you say this, and you talk about a wedding day, and people say, it's the most important day of my life, right? You think about this day as something super, super important. And I agree with that. I think it's a very monumental day. It's a super important day. It's a memory-making day. But on the other side of the coin, it's just one day.
Yep.
It's one day out of the entirety of your life.
Mm-hmm. It goes by quick.
And it goes by quick.
Goes by quick.
And the thing about it is that when you use that perspective and you look at it from that perspective and you say relationships and people, contacts with your family could be damaged and permanently damaged over one day. Why? Like, when you put that into a perspective of that, to say to them, are you really going to change the entirety of our relationship over one day.
Yeah. And it seems silly. It seems so silly.
It does
Well,
when you think of it that way.
yeah, and one plus side is they've got 2 years to get over it. You know?
Yeah.
They've got 2 Christmases, 2 Easters, 2 Mother's Days, 2 Father's Days, you know, all these holidays for you to be a family.
Mm-hmm.
For them to just get over themselves and come and enjoy the day with you, not for you. You know, they want to enjoy the day because, you know, right now they want to enjoy the day their way.
Mm-hmm.
How about they just enjoy it, you know, through you and enjoy it for you guys because it's y'all's day. It's not their day.
Yeah. I don't know how old these folks are. It doesn't say in the email. But again, this could also be a situation where your parents don't, or her parents necessarily, don't always view her as an adult.
True.
Still view her as a child. And so, you know, remember how we've talked about on the show in the past about there's that time in your life when it switches from you being the child and the parent relationship until you being equals as adults. And that may or may not have happened yet between these two. And she may need to prove to her parents that she's being an adult about this. She's being responsible and trying really hard to plan out the world that she wants to be in with her fiance and how they want to have it. You know, this is not a bridezilla saying, you know, we're having this wedding and you're paying for it no matter what it is we decide we want. Yeah. And so I think it's just going to be a matter of coming to the table, having discussions with her and her parents and saying, look, we understand that there are our ideals that we have in our heads about what it is that makes a perfect wedding. So how can we bring them together to make everybody as happy as we possibly can?
Yeah. And it's just one day. Just one day.
Mm-hmm. It's an important day, and it's very important, but it is just one day out of your life. And when you take it into that account and start taking some of the monumental importance of it, and maybe bring it down a little bit, it helps to gain a little bit more perspective.
Yeah. Because you want to have fun. You want to have fun at your wedding. You want to have fun and enjoy it. So
you're barely going to be able to do anything except talk to people.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly,
it's literally just going to fly by, and you're going to blink and say, I forgot to eat. I didn't even eat the food that I picked out. Because
that's
I
one
was
tip.
too busy talking to everybody because everybody wants to talk to you and hug you and congratulate you. And, you know, maybe you'll get a couple of dances on the dance floor if you have one. But it's a whirlwind.
Yeah, get a friend to fix you each a plate of food.
And make you eat it.
Yeah, make you eat.
Yeah, because otherwise people will just take up your time, and then you're like, well, crap, we sampled all that prime rib, and then all of a sudden we never even got a chance to taste it.
I know. We had fried green beans.
Ooh.
Like at mine, fried green beans with ranch dressing. That was one of it was like finger food, and that was one of them. And I remember trying it, and I was like, oh man, I love green beans already. But then they fry them and make them so much better. Oh, it was so good.
TGI Fridays makes those, and they're damn good.
Ooh, they do. I have not had those in a bit.
Green bean fries, they're the best.
Delicious. There's nothing like taking a fantastic vegetable and then deep frying it to oblivion.
We're taking a total tangent here, but apparently the Minnesota State Fair is the place to go for everything deep fried, and and so apparently I'm going to be able to try that this year. So,
when do they hold that?
Next month, I think. July.
In July? I'm going to have to come to that because I know it's a big deal.
I know, right?
One of these years I'm going to have to go up there and check it out.
Come hang out with us for a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be awesome. Anyway, back to the question.
Yeah. Way off in tangents.
Yes, we appreciate and wish you a ton of luck with this question, with your situation. And congratulations on your engagement.
Yes, congratulations and good luck to both of you navigating that torrential sea that is your future in-laws.
Yes, I mean,
because they're still there after your wedding.
I know, right?
They're still there. They don't go anywhere. They're
Yeah.
still they're going to be your family after that point. So it's best to work out some of these big kinks ahead of time. So that's another great reason to sit down, have an adult conversation between the four of you, and try and work past it.
Yeah, exactly. So I really hope that a conversation can happen between the four of you, and then it goes in a direction where you can reach some kind of understanding of where everybody's coming from. Because I think that's the most important thing, is that you have to try to understand where they're coming from too, not just where you think you want it to be.
Definitely.
Yes. All right. If you guys have your feedback, your experiences with this situation yourself, you can send that to questions@taurenThinkTank.com. That is our email address, and we would love your feedback, as we always do.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Marconin, it's time for some Tell Us One Thing.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Oh, we've got two of them here from Osaskis, who says, so, puppy or cat?
You know, we've had some really thought-provoking questions in Tell Us One Thing. One of these where you dig deep within inside yourself, and you really explore what it is to be you. Who am I? What makes me me? What about me is me? And then you have these questions, which is an automatic cat.
Yeah.
It is like, I think I have like an invisible stamp on my forehead that just says cat person.
Oh God,
Just
me
thunk.
too.
Yeah, I think I've seen it every once in a while on your forehead too. So yeah, I don't know that you could find a pair of podcasters that love cats as much as Jules and I do.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
love puppies. Like, they're adorable and they're so awesome. But if I had to choose, I would take a cat any second of the day. Mainly just.
And
because
I have a dog.
puppies. Oh yeah, you do.
And I do have a dog, and I love him. He's a huge cuddle bug. He's a cool dog. I love him. But I was born and raised a cat person, and that's who I am.
Yeah, you know, it was weird. Even as a little kid, I was always drawn to cats, and dogs were, you know, like, I like dogs, but they're not my thing, you know. Like, I will pet dogs and I'll spend time with dogs, but I have connection with cats. It's just, you know, it's just like,
Yeah.
I see you, cat.
Yeah, like cat. They know that I love cats. Like, cats know. They just know that, like, oh, there's a cat person here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'll just walk up to a cat and I'll do the cat things, you know, where I know to not come aggressively, and I'll, you know, let them come to me, and then I just exude cat, and they're just like, oh, hey, you're a cool buddy, you know, you'll scratch my neck. I was like, yes, I will, you know, and just pet them and be nice and loving to them. It was cool to hang around a big dog, though.
Yeah.
I haven't hung around a big dog in a while, and of course Pat has Darla.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Chocolate
Play
lab.
fetch. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She was
she's
lovely.
full of energy, that dog. She's gonna be she's fun. Yeah, so that's our answer to your question. Your second question was from Osaska, said, should I gear up from eye level 640 or wait for Legion to play with friends?
Hey, it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, we only have, goodness, like probably another month.
It's actually 2 months from today.
Yeah, but from the pre-patch, where all this
pre-patch,
stuff
yeah.
gets changed, you got maybe a month. I know a lot of people are throwing around, what was it, July 19th as being the patch day. I don't know where they're getting their figures from. But at any rate, we're close enough to the expansion where you could go both ways. You could go out and enjoy the game in other aspects, you know, go do other things, go collect mounts, pets, go grab some tabards or shirts to get ready for the fabulous achievement, and just kind of hang out in the game and enjoy yourself. Or you can go into raids, do LFR, and just gear up that way, get some cool things, because the wardrobe's coming out. So all the new pieces of gear you get are going to be things you're going to want in your wardrobe, because you know you're going to want the fabulous title. You're gonna want it. It's gonna be like Gear Score was. Like, okay, I need you to link your ahead of the curve and your fabulous title. I need to see it. Okay, now
Marconin the
you can.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
just
go either way.
I'm
Whichever
with
way you
you.
want to do.
I'm with you. It's like, well, however you want to spend your time, right? It just,
Mhm.
to me, yeah, you're going to go into pre-patch and things are all going to shift over. So it's going to be time spent, but it's not going to be something that you're going to hang on to you're going to get rid of that gear pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely are. You're going to replace it with greens and blues as you level up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just kind of do what you want to do. If you want to raid, I know Osaskas is actually in the chat room. Says I want to raid, but all my friends are bored.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then LFR is probably the way to do it. If you haven't really done much raiding, or you want to dip your toes in, before the end of the expansion, go ahead and try LFR. You can at least see the fights. You can check it out, get some cool looking gear, and kill a lot of orcs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not necessary to do. It's going to be, you'll be able to level up just fine. And the gear that you get as doing those opening quests will get you along your way anyway.
Yep.
Thinking
So
about
you'd
the
be
fact
good
that
either
they
way.
would boost a lot of level 100s, right? So you're going to have an eye level that's going to be pretty low for all the
Mhm.
boosts. So they want to make sure that the mechanics fit to that.
Yep. So yeah, you'll be all right whichever way you want to do, man. It's your $15 a month. Do whatever you want to do. I wouldn't be too worried about getting into competitive rating because it's going to be a thing of the past, and we're going to be in the next expansion in mere weeks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mere weeks.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Good Lord. Mere weeks indeed.
Yeah. I know. I can't wait though. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready yet, but yeah, I don't know if I'm ready yet. We'll see.
I'm just ready for my bags to be empty because they're
Right?
full of gear.
All your gear's gonna go away.
I know. I almost cried because when they put the PTR up and they put character copy over, I copied Marconin over, and then I went and I sold all of the gear that I had that had been added to my wardrobe. I just looked at my empty bag and void storage and everything. I was like, oh, so beautiful. So much room for herbs.
Oh yeah, see now
Oh.
you can fill it up with herbs and all
Yeah.
the other stuff. Like if
Cool,
you're
because
jewel
now I got to go
crafting.
out. I know. Now I got to go out and pick my own herbs again.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone out and picked an herb node in 2 years.
But seriously, honestly, I'm excited for that. I used to really enjoy herbalism and
Mhm.
going out there and flying around and looking for nodes because that was my relaxation for a lot of times when I had to gather because, I'm an alchemist on my main. So I would just go out there and farm and farm and farm, and I liked it.
Yeah, I do too. I would spend about an hour, just go out there, play some music, or listen to a video or something, and just kind of hang out and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So don't steal any of my nodes. I know you're gonna be running around in your druid form, so you don't have to dismount.
Zip. Zip.
Oh, you know what? I've got the shredder mount, so I don't have to dismount on our herbalism anymore either.
Ooh.
Forgot about that thing.
Nice.
So now we're gonna be competing for nodes.
Sorry.
I got my eye on you, madam.
I'll just farm in different areas. Like you're playing it every time I'm not playing, but who knows? My schedule is completely different now, so I might be playing when you're playing now.
Uh huh. Well, I'm just gonna go to High Mountain. You stay in Val'Sharad. You just
Fine. Just
hang it.
fine. Just stay
Fine.
there.
Be that way.
Whatever.
Oh man.
Read
So
the next one.
yeah, next one's from Mammoth. Triple T is putting a fireworks show on this year. What music is it set to, and what is the theme of the fireworks?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is the theme of the fireworks? I feel like, okay, this is really cheesy, but I feel like it needs to be David Bowie's Changes as the music, like, and
Yeah.
And everything is like all the fireworks are just all over the place because everything is so different. Like, I guess that's just
Yeah.
chaos.
Chaos is good.
Chaos. The theme is chaos, and the music has everything. All the songs are things to have to do with change. That's my theme. Now, I don't know about Triple T. We're celebrating 4 years on doing the show, and gosh, I mean, that part makes up me. I don't know about you, though. What do you think?
Well, I'm kind of thinking it would be. I don't know. For Triple T, I would want it to be a good mix of things. I would want a little bit of music from, Blizzard games and stuff. So I would want a little bit of Overwatch in there because it's very
Ooh.
inspirational sounding.
Yes.
Like just a lot of the music that they made for it is just this kind of, it's hopeful and it's spirited and it's got some heart behind it. And I think that would be really great. But then I'd also want to take it on a note of remembrance. And because you said David Bowie, and of course we lost him this year. So I would sprinkle
many.
I would sprinkle in some David Bowie, some Prince, some stuff like that. And of course, just have lots of cool fireworks going off. I would love to have something like Arcane Blast, where it's the purple and blue orbs that just spin around each other.
Oh, dude.
That would be a little thing, like a little combo, just boom, and go up like that. I love the really big loud ones, the really big loud flashbang
The flashbang
sounds.
ones?
Yes. Boom, like it's coming because you see this bright flash.
I hate those. I will flinch every time.
Oh, yeah, me too. I mean, it's not like a natural reaction, but I just imagine those sound waves racing towards me so fast.
See, I
And
like
just
the ones that are like the Weeping Willow one, where it
Oh, yeah.
where it just bursts and then it trickles down in like a Weeping Willow like style, where it's real sparkly and long tendrils that come down. Those are my favorites.
Those are really pretty. I like those. But yeah, I would do some kind of remembrance thing with a bunch of those people who have left us this
I
year.
like that.
That kind of thing.
That's really
So
cool.
that's what I would do.
And our last question comes from Zato. He says, if you suddenly had 2 extra hours a day to do whatever, aside from gaming, what would you do with it?
Sleep.
I know.
Sleep. I was going to say something else when I was looking at the show notes before the show, but I'm tired. So I would sleep. I know I do it to myself. I'm the reason why I only get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. It's all me. I could go to bed at 8 o'clock. But who wants to go to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening? The sun is still up this time of year.
Yeah, that's the problem is that, and you know what? Let's say a day is not 24 hours, it's 26 hours. You'd find a reason why you would need to stay up longer
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to do more stuff, and you would still not sleep enough.
Yeah, it wouldn't impact my sleep at all. I wouldn't get more sleep. I was like, well, I could have an extra hour. I could actually practice trombone for an hour, try and get my chops built back up. And then I could do an hour of reading because I don't really sit and read books all that often. So I could just find a book and read. I got a couple of books I need to finish reading. Could do that. And then I'm like, man, I just want to go to sleep.
I know.
So sleep is calling my name right now because I'm kind of beat from work. I had a lot of physical exertion at work today. I had to build a lot of stuff, so it was tiring. But
I'll tell you what, I have had this entire week off because I had basically vacation week between starting the new job and moving. And every day I have taken a nap and it has been glorious. And I'm getting stuff done. Like I'm doing a lot of stuff and I'm doing, working on Well Played and all these other things that I'm doing. And then every afternoon, somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I said, I'm going to go take a nap. And I go take a nap and it's like I wake up and I'm like, the birds are singing like outside and they're like singing around my head because I'm just like, I got extra sleep. Like, it just feels like I'm amazed. It's just like, there's birdies singing around my head. I love it. Like, I seriously wish I could take a nap every day.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're kind of on the same wavelength because I've been taking naps after work about the same time.
Yeah.
Almost every day this week, except for today. I didn't do it today because of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yesterday I fell asleep in the recliner in the living room and Pixie just laid on my chest and took a nap with me. Like the day before, the dog laid in the bed with me, and I took a nap for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
It feels
I love coming home
amazing.
just like,
It feels like a stolen time, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I wake up, and I feel a little groggy for a second, but then I was like, oh, wow, I can actually function. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Naps are like the best thing in the world to me. So when I can do this like every day this week, I've been so happy.
Yeah. You just kind of, you get to that point and you just big grin on your face like, oh yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
nap time.
It's nap time.
I woke
I'm
up
gonna
this
take
morning. Like
that.
I woke up. I did sleep well last night. We were up super late for the well played streams. I
Yeah.
didn't sleep well last night. I was up this morning around 7:30, and I did stuff all day. And my nap, I took a nap, and I woke up, and it had gone from sunny to like almost storming in the time that I had taken my nap. And so I woke up and I'm like, "Is it dark out?" Like, it's just like
What year is it?
what? So I started laughing. I'm like, oh, there's a storm coming. Okay, I get it. But yeah, so I would do that. If I had extra time, I would take a nap every day.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, it can't be morning, and then you look over and it's really like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.? How good a feeling is that?
Oh God, it's the
Feel like,
best.
oh yeah. I mean, it's like euphoric. Like, oh, I get to go back to sleep. I love that feeling
I
of just
know.
like, oh, why am I up so? Ooh, I still got 3 more hours.
I can stay in bed.
Yeah, and you get just enough time laying in bed where you're like, you actually get to appreciate the fact that you are horizontal and about to slip off into unconsciousness for a while, and just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, this feels so good, and just go off to Z's, off
My
to
worst
Z-land.
is that when I wake up at like, normally I would get up around 7 to go to work. And so my waking up at like 5 and being like, God, I only got a couple more hours before I have to get up. That feeling is awful. Or if it's 6.
Or if you wake up with like 5 minutes to go
Oh, that's
before
the
your alarm
worst.
goes off.
That's like
Yeah.
the total worst.
Yeah, I actually had that happen this morning. And I was like, oh, I got 5 minutes. And so I like hit the snooze button like twice to delay it for like 10 minutes. I just turned off, because I have like 3 alarms that go off in 5-minute increments. And so I turned off the first 2 because I was like, I don't really need those. And so I tried to lay back down, but I didn't really turn them off. So they went off anyway.
Yeah,
I'm like, I got to get up.
I know.
They're fine. I'll just go ahead and get up now.
I'll just go
So, yeah.
get up now.
Stupid.
Stupid. Oh, that was fun. Tell us one thing. And you guys can send your questions over on Thursdays. They'll Tell Us One Thing Thursdays on Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. You can send them on our email, which is questions@torrenthinktank.com. And don't forget Facebook and Discord. Facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank, or Discord, tinyurl.com/TTT chat 2 is the short link to get there.
Yep.
I remembered this time.
Yes, you did.
I did. I was like, at some point, I'm going to remember Discord, and I did.
I was primed and ready to go.
I know. You
did
like
it.
save my butt every week, and I actually
Yeah, she
remembered.
did it. Awesome.
Yeah.
We are getting there.
Girl's got some chops. All right, we're going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
some feedback right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you. Whoa, that's a lot of feedback.
It is. We have feedback. Marconin, you want to start us off?
Absolutely. This one's from Torrance about last week's letter. Hello. You rocked my world today. Listening to Triple T while driving and finding out that you are reading my letter caused me to burst into tears while driving. No worries. I got home safe and sound. Thank you so much for your insight and patience working through my life stuff.
You're very welcome, Torrance. He was asking about our Discord server and said that he was able to get in. I'm hoping that we get to see you at participating in our Discord sometime soon. And we hope that our answers to your question were helpful to help you on your way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This actually came through to me as a private message on Discord, and it was like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool that to hear that there was such a reaction for having his letter read on the show. So
Yeah.
I forget sometimes about how impactful that can be, and so thank you for telling us about it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for telling us. We have feedback from Shorel, who said, for Torrance, last week's episode, what I do to deal with keeping track of everything I need to do is that I use a site called Habatica. The concept is a to-do list and habit list designed like an RPG video game. You get to design your character a little bit. Items are sprites. There are classes, and if you don't complete certain things, you lose health. There are even quests. There's also a pretty good tutorial to help you understand the site/app. The best part about Habatica is that it has 3 sections for your list of items: habits, things you want to do regularly; dailies, things that need to be done daily, weekly, etc., and to do one-off tasks. The items can have embedded lists, so you can break down a major task into smaller steps. There's both an app and a website, which are integrated, so you can use the app when you're out and about, but use the website at home, and every list is in both places. It's also free. You can purchase items on the website or subscribe for bonuses, but they are absolutely optional. Habatica is available in the iTunes Store and however you get Android apps, as well as the website habatica.com. Habatica has helped me get better at things I wanted to get better at doing regularly. It keeps my list of long-term projects for both work and home, and my wife and I even use it to plan out completing home improvement projects. Great show as always, from Shorel.
Awesome. Thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, this sounds really cool. I'd not heard of this before.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. Mm-hmm. It was really cool.
Super, super cool. Do you want to read the last one?
Yeah, from Caspin? Mm-hmm. Okay, it says, I declared what I wanted tonight while listening to the show. Thanks for the tip. Cheers.
Yes, this was from our conversation last week. We're saying, sometimes you have to declare your intentions to the universe of the things that you want to do and see where it takes you, just like my friend had done. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear that that was good. All of a sudden, Garrus is doing his little circle around me. Hi, Garrus. Chat room, we are really light on the /moose tonight. If you guys have some, feel free to pop them into the chat room. I'm going to give you a few minutes to catch up to this. La 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 la. And we'll start them off right now. /moose. From Navarra Fox on Twitter said, hi, just wanted to /moo to Cheo's Silver Moon EU for rescuing me and giving me a lift to a safe place. I was looking for a way up the cliff.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. It's really cool to help people out in the game.
Yes.
That's awesome. And also from Zato, /moo to CTR's raid team, the Rubber Chicken Coalition, for downing heroic Archimon this week. That's awesome.
That's awesome. From the chat room, WoW Challenges says /moo to Tuli Bardine for reasons.
For many reasons. Tuli's awesome.
Tuli is awesome, man. He is not only a listener and supporter of this show, he is an amazing supporter of Well Played and the things that we do for our events. And so, yeah, most definitely. I'm totally stalling in case the chat room wants to get in more. But they don't seem to have any more to add to this.
I'll make one little sweep of Discord real quick to see if
just
there's
make sure,
anything on there.
I checked it before the show ended, but or before the show started, I should say. From Orangey Apps, we have another one. /moo to my family, nuclear and extended, for celebrating my high school graduation with me in May.
Very cool.
Yay.
Yep, and none on Discord.
None on Discord. One last check of Twitter. Make sure I didn't have anything that was popped in there.
Unexpectedly says wait.
Uh-oh. Go ahead. There's another one.
Yeah, from Miss Killian /moo to my awesome fiance who listened to all my venting during the end of financial year.
And unexpectedly, the DK comes in to say /moo to Ms. Noid, Barber, Nymphadora, and Zato.
Lots of love in the listener sphere, in the Moo crew, and the chat room tonight.
Yes. There's one more.
Yep, from Furzball /moo to my sister on her awesome internship pushing her graphic design degree. Love you, Pest.
That's cute. That's super cute. And if you guys want to send your /moos, there's a couple ways you can do it. On Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. On Facebook, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. Questions at TaurenThinkTank.com is our email. And Discord, tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. We get you lots of cool stuff in here. Ways that you can communicate with us, send us stuff, talk to us. You can get to us pretty easily from all of those sources.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's where you can find us.
And speaking of sources, our show is available on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and on our website at torrenthinktank.com. You can go on there and find every single episode that has ever been recorded, all 192, because this is 193. So this will be up there too. we have a lot of episodes that are there to listen to from our 4 years of doing this show, and we have no reason or signs to stop. So, you guys always tell us, thank you, don't ever stop what you're doing. Well, we don't plan to. So,
Yeah, not planning on it.
no. Life definitely can get in the way, just as it will be for next week. We will not have a show because I will be relocating. But don't worry, we're going to set everything back up and be back in a week after that. So for 2 weeks from now, we will have another show, and with a lot of changes again in my life. But the one thing that doesn't change is the fact that Triple T has been here with me and Marconin for 193 episodes, 4 years of our lives. And it's a pretty amazing thing. First of all, ask any celebrations for episode 200. I don't have any at the moment.
We haven't had a chance to think about it, honestly, because
right?
We've had all these. We had the movie celebration, and now we're in full swing for the BlizzCon party. So I don't know. I was actually going to try and think of something, maybe do some brainstorming, but I don't really know.
So I'll tell you guys what. If you would like to have something special for episode 200, give us your ideas. Send them over. Email us. Send them on Twitter. Let us know what you would like to see for episode 200. And we'll come up with some ideas on things we can make happen. It's about, you're looking at 6 more episodes, and that's 6 weeks plus a couple, probably, roughly.
So we're looking at on the last half of August. Like around August 25th, and that's if we don't. That's if we continue to do an episode every week, excluding next week.
Right. And that's just hard to say. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, never know.
They're saying call-in show. So if you like, people are torn on call-in shows. Some people absolutely love call-in shows. They love it. Others do not. So, if you have feelings on the topic of call-in shows, let us know and give us your feedback, because we will work with ideas and things like that. So I was actually, one of the ideas that I had is to have you guys send us audio, and that we would create a compilation of stuff as part of it to say what Triple T has meant to you, if that's something you wanted to do. But we can talk about call-in show if that's something you guys really want. So, and maybe we'll just post it in the Discord and let you guys talk about it too. So, yeah. Maybe Marconin might be doing that right now. I don't know. I heard typing.
We'll figure something out.
So you guys know what's happening with me for the next 2 weeks. Marconin, anything that's popping up in your world right now?
Not really. Since we won't be doing a show next Thursday, I'm still entertaining the idea of maybe streaming some.
Oh, yes.
And in that window. So just keep your eyes and ears open on the Twitters, and I'll see if I can do something. Might take the day off. I don't know. We'll figure it out one way or another.
Cool beans.
Just an idea I'm floating around.
Yep. And again, please, since I won't have the opportunity to just talk about it for 2 weeks, please support Well Played. tinyurl.com/wellplayed2016. Our last day of funding is July 11th, which means that we will not be back again before that ends. So please, every dollar helps us. If you're not going to BlizzCon, you're still a part of the community, and you will be with our live stream. So don't feel like you aren't a part of this party. You are. We are having all of the things that, prizes and things like that for the live stream experience that are going to be just as important as those who are there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You guys make it happen just as much as those of us that are there.
Seriously. All right, guys. Well, that is a show, and we're going to bring it to a close just like this. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network, my new employer. Find out more about the other great shows of the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
So are they hiring?
Not yet.
Not yet. So portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and on freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you would like to help out Triple T, give us a little tip, say hi, Thanks for what we do. You can do so at patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank. Want to meet other members of the Triple T community? Join our Discord server. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can also find Jules at Jules RPG and myself, Marconin, at Marconin Wow.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight, hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. You can find us on the video stream at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank and our mobile audio stream through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. We love seeing you here with us however you can be. Marconin,
Jules.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Enjoy your moving. And I hope the moving the cats goes really well.
Say a prayer for me next Tuesday, guys. I need it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. I look forward to seeing the new digs.
I know.
Seeing the new view from the cameras.
Oh, it's going to be very, very cool. I can't wait to show you guys everything that's new in my life. And so we will not be here next week. We will be here in the following week. So we'll see you in 2. Have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And for myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo. Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 It didn't want to play. Just come on, play.
Come on, man.
You can do
Work
this.
with me here.
Thank you for all your luck. Guys, I need it. I need it. The move itself, I'm not even worried about that part. Like, I've got movers hired. They're coming to do their thing. Here comes Spike and Garrus. You see him?
Yep.
But yeah, the moving of these little boogers are gonna be the hardest thing. Yeah. I hate that your video has to be off the whole time, but it didn't flinch after you turned it off.
Jeez. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I may look into getting a newer modem or router or modem router.
It's funny because it's clearly the draw on your internet connection to get your video sent.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is.
I don't know if it's just the extra bandwidth or what it is, because I'm plugged directly into the router.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I've got a direct line. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is.
These little boogers, they're so cute though. Garrus never went into his spot, so I couldn't put the Garrus overlay. Otherwise, you'd just be looking at my pillows. Yeah, I don't know. He's updated his Skype recently too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and I don't know what it is. It's just like it starts out fine, and we get into the show at some point, and all of a sudden you start going crunchy.
Yeah. I may see if there's some kind of update for the router too, maybe a firmware update or something. So I don't know.
You're too.
I don't remember. I don't know what kind of webcam I have. Forgot which one this is.
I have the C3.
Yeah, the router BIOS. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll look into that.
Okay.
Solomio. I'll look into that. So thank you for that suggestion.
Yes. So lovely, people. Thank you for another wonderful show. And
yeah,
that's all I have. Oh, show titles. We need show titles.
Yes, we need those.
Did you guys keep track of show titles tonight? I don't think our normal show title people were paying attention.
Excuse me. Goodness, I've been yawning the whole
I
show.
know, you poor thing. I've been just trying to struggle through this. You can go to bed.
I could, but I really want to play some Overwatch.
I know. You do, you boo.
A little bit.
Thank you, Quallen. Appreciate that. Thank you for listening live.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Hope
Thank you
come
for
back.
coming.
Absolutely. Really, thank you. We appreciate all the new listeners that we had tonight that came by and hung out. It was really cool to see you guys. And tell your friends. Triple T's been doing this for a while, but tell people, we continue to rock your socks with these questions that you guys send us, which are amazeballs. Yeah, orgy apps. This is another new person who's here. We hope to see you again.
Yeah.
We really hope so. This chat room is a great and all of our regulars, all of our awesome regulars who are here every week, we love you guys.
Absolutely.
Hello, little boo. Come here.
So we've got born and raised a cat person.
Yes.
That's one.
That's a good one, Tiber.
Yeah, that's true. Intentional. That's true. That's
yes.
That's why I listen to a podcast out of Seattle, and I know they're not going to be there on Friday because of the July 4th weekend.
Yeah.
So I intentionally, because I listen a day behind, because I need something to listen to at work. So that's why I don't listen to them live. Mm-hmm. And so I intentionally didn't listen today because on Sunday when I go to work, I'll listen to Thursday. Mm-hmm. And then Monday when I work, I'll listen to... No, wait, they are going to do on Friday. So I'll listen to Fridays on Mondays. And then Tuesday will be a Monday show. That way I don't ever mess it up. So.
Unexpectedly says the show title should be You Do You Boo Boo.
You do you, boo boo.
I love that one. I love that saying. I do that all a lot.
Or who's getting married?
Who's getting married?
That could be one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that. Intentional Glitch. I listen to the morning stream with Scott Johnson and Brian Ebbett. That's the one I listen to every day. Oh, thank you, Harmony and B. Tell Tony he's
awesome.
Rockin' socks, yo. Tony and Holiday are like the best people. I know. I love you do you boo boo. It's like the best. Did I start that or did you start that?
I don't know, because I've heard that term before, and I know I've used it on the show.
I know we've both used it.
Yeah. I don't know who said it first.
I don't either. And I feel like it's just like something we've become as part of this show. We have not named a show You Do You Boo Boo. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
It is time.
It is time. Do it.
It is time.
Thank you. Just do what I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to, at some point, I need to go down to Dallas and Fort Worth and see Tony and Holiday again.
I know. I miss them. I know. All, the whole baby thing, the baby news.
Yeah.
The baby news.
I was like, well, I guess the only bad part about that is I guess she won't be joining us drinking wine at the next PAX South. Because she can't drink.
No. Intentional Glitch, you can get them on your phone. Just look for the morning stream. It's under Frog Pants Studios, Scott Johnson. And it's one of my favorite morning shows that I listen to. And here's my problem. I am not driving anymore, like a 30-minute drive to work. I'm not going to have my podcast time anymore. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
And now I do have a 30-minute commute.
Now you have the commute.
And I usually just turn on NPR and listen to that on the way down.
Oh, Harmony and B, I'm so sorry. No /move for your daughter. We'll get that. Send it to us. Send us an email. Questions at taurenThinkTank.com. We'll put it in the next show so that we can add that /moo in there. I always flag emails for inclusion into the show. So
we'll get you in the next one.
Yep. Email address questions at taurenThinkTank.com. That's our email address. So, yeah. Thank you so much. I think Tony had told me that he was sending someone our way. So I'm so glad it's you. He had sent me a text and said, he's like, look for someone new to come your way.
We'll take as many as he can send.
Yeah. Intentional Glitch, I'll also recommend a couple others. Like I listen to the Core podcast, which is also Scott Johnson. That's a Heroes of the Storm podcast if you like Heroes. And what else? What else have I been listening to lately? Convert to Raid, when I can listen. Mm-hmm. That's about it, though. I listen to TMS, and they're like 5 episodes a week, and I will not have time for 5 episodes a week anymore. So
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to just Therapy Thursdays is my favorite segment, so I have to make sure I listen to that at least every week. So, oh, what else? Anything else? I like Film Sack too.
Oh yeah, Film Sack is fantastic.
I love
I love
Film
Film Sack.
Anything else?
Goodness, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
We were talking about food during the episode because I was getting hungry. Because I had popcorn at the movie, but now I'm hungry again.
I know. I
And it's
made
10
up this
o'clock.
batch of like amazing pasta with asparagus
Oh,
and
man.
balsamic vinegar, and so good. Now I want more of it.
Now I want some of it.
Right? You can
That
just
sounds
come up
really
and
good.
visit. Oh, it's so good. It's so not good for you because it's like all this butter in it, but it's so good.
Now you're speaking my language.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of stuff in my pantry, so I'm just like cooking stuff up to try to get rid of it, so I don't have to take it with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Okay, guys.
Intention wants to know where you find the brawl fight in Heroes. She can't find it in the game.
The brawl fight?
Yeah. Because I haven't played Heroes in a while, so I don't know.
There's no brawl in Heroes. There's no like there isn't a tavern brawl or anything like that in the in that game. There's just quick match. You can play against AI. You can do ranked play, and then you can do team league. So you can play with, up to 2 people doing ranked play, or you can do all 5 people doing ranked play, or custom games. But there's no tavern brawl or any brawl like Overwatch has. They're
Yeah.
working on the arena mode though, and that was announced at BlizzCon last year, and they're still not doing anything with it.
I need that to come out because my voice will be on it in the crowd.
Yes,
So I'll be-
absolutely.
Yeah. I will say it put another smile on my face when I got to hear for Azeroth and for the Alliance at the end of
Oh,
Warcraft.
so exciting.
So it's like Jules is in there somewhere.
Oh my god, and we yelled our heads off on that thing. It was so great. Because they told us we had to let it go, and we did.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys definitely did because I could hear it on the other side of the convention center.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's awesome. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful holiday weekend for those that have it. And Canada Day is tomorrow. Happy Canada Day for our Canadians. Happy Independence Day on Monday. And for the Americans. And we'll see you guys later.
Yep. See you in 2 weeks, folks.
/moo.
Take care. /moo.